today. And we have two discussion topics. First one is sports and shorts, which I don't really know what that is.
Either did I till last week. All right, so sports and shorts, this item's for discussion only. We don't need to vote on it today. Staff is looking for initial council feedback on the concept of any concerns or suggestions before bringing forward anything formal at a future meeting. Sports and Shorts is a youth rec program offered through the White Lake Area Community Education designed to introduce young children to a variety of sports in a fun, low-pressure environment. The program focuses on basic motor skills, teamwork, listening skills, and sportsmanship rather than competition. Sessions rotate through multi-sports-based activities, allowing participants to try different games each week while building confidence and physical literacy. The program is instructional in nature, age-appropriate, and intended as an entry-level experience rather than organized league play. So it goes for 5 weeks, and they can take up to 45 Whitehall kids. They cost $4,500 though, and they're looking for sponsors. So we don't need to make a decision today, but it's something I want to bring up and maybe for a motion one way or the other in the future.
We have sponsored this before, haven't we?
Yeah, we have for many years, I believe. It's been a while since it's come up, but I think we did for quite some time. I know Scott Huebler was a big proponent of it too.
Yeah, I thought we've probably done it since I've been on council, since 7+ years, so.
Where does it take place?
All over. They have different parks that they meet at.
And probably depends on the sport also. You know, whether they're doing like soccer or volleyball or, basketball or whatever they're working on.
I think it was the VAC as well.
What's the typical age?
It's 5 to 12.
5 to 12. Okay.
My wife was director of Sports and Shorts a day or two ago. I'm not going to go into how far because this is broadcast. But it was a great program. You know, just very low key. Very like I know the city council sponsored it, but it's just a really cool thing where kids can try stuff without. There's no parent pressure. There's no referee pressure. There's just here's how to do this. Give it a shot, and they try all kinds of different things, and it's getting sports equipment and things like that. She was there when it was starting, so getting sports equipment was coming to coaches and getting it from them. So any sponsorship to help them, I think, would be a really cool thing.
Is this, you said there's 4,500 is what they would want? Is that?
Yeah, it's regardless of how many kids. They can take up to 45,
Okay.
but 4,500 for the 5-week program.
Is
It's 5
council,
days a week.
do they want the whole amount from council?
That's what they're asking.
Okay.
I think they provide lunches at least
I think
for that. Seems like that came up.
At least snacks.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so the arts, crafts, games, special programs, lunch is provided as well. Yeah, free, healthy sack lunch is provided daily, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems like a good program. You're welcome to vote on it later on in an actual session, but just need a motion. Well, we have the money.
When do they need an answer on it?
It didn't necessarily specify. I'd say it'd be good for their planning to have it sooner rather than later. We wouldn't have to do it today, but just if you're planning stuff and if they can count on the money for those weeks, cool. So you can hire staff and whatnot.
I think there's enough consensus that put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
I say so.
I agree with that too.
Anything we can do for the kids, you know? So the next item is boards and commissions And,
Mayor,
yes.
would I be able to do a quick thing on the solid waste? Not the solid
Oh,
waste,
sure.
the senior millage, sorry, I'm getting them confused. Just, because that's really quick, just
Go
get
ahead.
done with it. So I sent you a memo, kind of where we're at, and I also resent the report that, I sent it to Brenda to send to you.
Okay.
Yeah, resent the report that I sent in December, and just kind of going over the process, so you can, just as a reminder, so we did the 2024, 2025 millage, that's what the committee did. And granted, I was late because it's October to October. So they didn't get their money until April, by the time we got done with our process and I reported to the board and the recommendations and things like that. So on November 10th, realizing that we had our next allotment, I sent out an email to the committee members to say, hey, what do you want to do? And our discussion took place over, by email. I also requested the providers to provide reports to us, which I provided to the committee. You have them as well in the full report that you have. I asked questions. Once in a while, people would say, well, they were not supportive of this, but I drew out from them, what are your reasons? Because it's helpful to us in council. Primary concerns were associated with funding the VAC, which had been consistent with the others. And during the discussion, I noted as context for that discussion that I did not see consensus on city council for eliminating or reducing that, except for Scott has mentioned that. Not all. We also talked about, the committee was also made aware of the invitation to participate in Fruitland Township's Senior Palooza, which is a one-day event with senior providers and services and a dinner, and it's a big deal. And there was not support for that. We also were invited to be able to purchase vouchers to the Montague's Farmers Market, but that was not supported as well. Not all committee members participated, as much as I pestered them. And then based on the email exchanges that did occur, positions were firmly held. To be fair, there was one or two person who said they wanted an in-person meeting, and I just said, hey, it looks like we're pretty, everybody is pretty set on their positions, and I also let them know I had some additional work responsibilities during that time that I was not able to make a commitment with the time. So I do appreciate the input from the committee members, and here are the path forward. It's just pretty basic. It's not a recommendation. It doesn't reflect consensus. It focused primarily on funding related to the VAC. So proceed using the prior allocation amounts. Age well for Meals on Wheel and transportation. The city to do a better job to do more publication, because one of the survey results was people didn't know what services we did have. The senior center for additional programming and 2 senior dinners. We need to get that next one scheduled. And let me see, who am I forgetting? Oh, and the VAC. So anyway, so we could proceed with those, and then with the option of any changes considered in a future cycle, because we'll have more money again October this year. So we could have a separate discussion on the VAC concerns, and then we could also use feedback forms at City Council to start gathering, information on what people think about what we are providing. We could hold a discussion regarding the VAC-related concerns prior to determining the senior millage allocation, or we could do something entirely different. And then I mentioned that I sent the report to you, and also that I will be stepping down as convener of the committee. It was quite a bit of my time last year. I know it doesn't seem like it, just holding meetings and writing up things, but I have an increased workload this year, and also 2 knee replacement surgeries. So I need to step back from being on any committee. So anyway, this can be put on the agenda, but I think our choices are pretty clear. We have 3 choices. The third one, I'm not sure how would happen unless I was convening the committee, or certainly another council member can do that as well. So if you have any questions?
It does not at all have to be a council person to take over the committee, correct? So one of your members could certainly do that.
Well, and one of the things I said to them is that, certainly if somebody wants to convene a committee, it was an ad hoc committee. If a council member wants to take it on, or I just said, you are always welcome to bring your suggestions to us at any meeting, or send it to any council member. So I think it kind of outlived its usefulness just a little bit, and I appreciate the work that they've done, but I think that's where we're at right now. Scott, did you want to add anything?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Well, I did appreciate that you provided some of the most specific answers to my questions, and I appreciated that.
You asked them for a reason, so
Well,
being part of the committee, I answered them.
yeah, well, I appreciate
If
that.
the others didn't, I'm sorry, but I
I'm
don't
not going to
twist
comment
arms
on that.
very well either.
It was a lot of emails, and I just tried to come up with what could we live with, and some folks did come and say, we could live with this, but it wasn't a majority of the committee.
I've looked over this, and one of the things that I noticed and that I appreciate is that the money given to Age Well Services provided direct support to people who had specific needs, the transports, the Meals on Wheels. And certainly the portion that we gave them didn't even cover what was provided in Whitehall. I spent quite a few phone calls trying to finally get a hold of Jenny at Agewell. I also note that the city didn't spend any of their money. I think they already have a excellent communication source through the water bills, through all the online products that the city has, plus all these other agencies. If someone is looking online, they can find them easily enough. In that vein, I would want to take the $1,000 from the city and give to Agewell. Otherwise, leave it the same.
I had the same kind of question about that $1,000. I didn't think it had been spent, and it probably isn't needed by the city. I was going to suggest give that to the school to make up the difference that they wanted, but I could go either way.
It's probably not consistent with at least what feedback we got from the committee, about being concerned about the back. I think one of the top things we learned about with the survey was even with our existing tools and the groups that are out there, they don't know what we have. And so we envisioned, for example, even a web page where we could link to the existing resources, and people at the city hall can say, hey, go check our website. And, so I would prefer to keep that myself because it was one of the top things, and I think we need to be a little bit more intentional about that. Now, Agewell is great, and I agree with you, although they do get they got quite a bit from the White Lake Community Fund. I would probably like to give more to the senior center because I think they're also providing some direct, but anyway, that's
I think, does Agewell not get either state and or federal funding also?
They get money for Meals on Wheels. The transportation, I'm not sure of, but they do get funding, and they also they took some cuts, but they also run their facility down in Norton Shores, and I think that what I gathered from council prior to us doing this was that council wanted to start seeing some of these services that are down there up here, you know, so I think that's a start, I think, but I know in the report, I think they said they did, they got, you know, other funds, and they get from the White Lake Community Fund as well, so.
The only other thing I can throw out is from social media. Some of the comments that people had made were, I don't want to keep criticizing the VAC, but
Yeah.
I think people are, I mean, we don't get that much money from the county to
We
begin
don't.
with. I think you're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're
Yes.
talking $17,000.
Yeah.
That I think people, from what I get from social media, people think that we should be using their money more towards seniors that are in need rather than seniors in general, which is basically, I interpret as, I mean, people that are using the VAC to walk for free obviously aren't physically impaired. So they're just getting, they're getting that benefit. But there's a lot of people in the community that are homebound people that, other than the Meals on Wheels program is great. But I think a lot of things that came up in our committee meetings was elderly people still trying to remain in their homes, and lawn care and snow removal and sidewalks and leaves and stuff like that. I mean, more things that pertain to needs more than, I don't know if you want to call it wants, but I know it's been put out there quite a bit that we have hundreds and hundreds of people in the city that are going to be mad if we don't keep providing money to the VAC for free walking for seniors. And I don't have any problem with giving them some money, but I still think we give them too much, and I think we could use some of the other money towards more things that are based for people that are seniors that need services rather than, I mean, people that are seniors and need something, they're not using the VAC for anything because they can't even get there. So.
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One, our survey picked up social isolation. I mean, we heard from providers, and social isolation is one need of seniors, whether they're homebound or not. And so that's why things like the Palooza or the dinners at the senior center and programs are important. And certainly physical health is one thing. I think from my perspective, I thought we made a nice, 17,000 is hardly anything, and maybe at some point we can talk about the city, expanding that. But I thought we made a good distinction between the people who wanted to walk, and they, even after what happened last year, I had a lot of people say, this is important to me, and they're seniors, so maybe they won't be homebound if they can continue to walk outside and not fall on the ice, for example. So that's, and then the 1,000 for the communication piece and the Meals on Wheels and the senior center. So I thought we kind of targeted almost every area in the survey, but it's a challenge because
with the limited amount of money that we have to break up.
Yeah.
You can't get everything.
No.
I mean,
No, we
there's
can't.
just not enough money there. So.
Well, and we could always look at our own budget and maybe double it, and then we have 34,000, and we could be, we could provide more. But we do have senior resources, and we have Age Well, and we do have organizations in the county that do provide senior services. So, ours is, it's a tricky thing, and it is hard to divide up 17,000. Speaking from experience.
When you need 50.
Well, and even, one of the reasons I put the feedback form was we had a couple people who said, well, you know, they wanted more, how do we know this is impacting seniors? And we can't really lay that burden on, we give, about 2,400 to Age Well, and they report it back to us, but the impact on our seniors, they got food, the VAC, people are walking and using it, and the senior dinner, so it's all anecdotal, but I think putting a feedback form at City Hall, where people, or putting a note in the newsletter, hey, we're interested to know. But anyway, I didn't want to take up that much time, and we don't have to vote on it today, but we probably should at least choose, do we want to go ahead with it? Do we want to talk about the VAC first or after? Because that really was the topic that had the most feedback from committee members. And then,
I guess I would suggest that we put it on a meeting to vote and get it done.
Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah.
And $1,000 this way or that way doesn't bother me much. And there's good arguments on both sides, but we can
Yeah.
talk about it for
Oh,
a long time
absolutely.
and not
And
make
I
any
appreciate
difference,
that,
guess.
because I just, I think, and maybe we just need to have a larger work session discussion going forward once we make this allocation about, are we meeting the needs of our seniors and how we can do it better.
And once again, I'll bring up spring and division. We've talked about it, it kind of died on the vine.
Oh,
Having
yes.
people you want to have more room for people, you want to have
Yeah.
an office for Age Well up here. There's room for all that up here. If you increase the size of the footprint, you can, and again, Meals on Wheels, that's a lot of money for 10 families, or 10 people.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, that cost is make it down there, box it up down there, drive it up here,
Yeah.
versus making it here, packaging it here, and driving a shorter distance where you could impact more people.
Yeah.
I'm just, like I said, again, thinking outside the box, but I think if we don't get on that horse, we're gonna lose it. It's gonna go away.
I thought somebody was gonna try and get us scheduled so that we could go in and look at it. I've never been in it.
I think Jeff asked me to get it started, and I think I said yes and forgot several times, so I don't know why I keep forgetting. I will get to it.
Age.
Well, I am a senior.
Yeah, I think most of us.
Join the club.
Is that either that, or I don't want to dump it on Dan, but I don't know, he can get a hold of the pastor over there, and just put it out in an email, we can all go. If he's
You wanna go look
up
at
to doing that, yeah.
Oh, Dan can do it.
Dan can do everything.
One more thing to add to his list. Get the honeydew list.
I would suggest in your concern about a page of links, but again, it's online, if people are online, they have access.
That's true.
But to create a page with those links is something that Brenda can do, and it would take her just about an hour to do that. All it is links, dear. Or I can do it. I think I still have my access. I still have my access.
Well, the way it was
I was
described.
gonna say, do you still have access?
Wait a minute, I do. Was a lot more descriptions of what was available
Yeah.
and then links and, I reached out to our web developer and he gave me a quote on it. So it's just whether or not we want to spend the money to do that. Yeah, I could do it, but I'm not gonna create a lot of content for prior to each one. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's more than an hour. I can do links, no problem, but if
that's
I'm
all.
describing all the services and links to it, then that's a little more.
I would, but that's exactly what I'm saying, is that all they need is the links, because each of those sites are going to tell them what their services
Sure.
are. There's no sense to be redundant.
But if you're looking at
If
the
that's the case,
page,
then you just go online and
You-
Google.
you need to have it annotated. If you're looking at the page, people need to know what it is and what the services are, so. I'm fussy, sorry.
Okay, can we move on then? To the nominations to boards and committees, and I think in a minute, we can kind of go through this sheet that we have, one committee at a time, but I wanted to say something first in that, about a year and a half ago, council changed, revised the policy for how we do nominations and for committees and boards, and that was to make it more fair and to try and get more people involved and all of that. And so what I tried to do in the recommendations that I got with the people that sent in information, I want to follow the procedure that we did back then. And one of those is that everybody who's on the council who wants to be on the board or committee should be on one. And at that point, I'll say, except for Tanya, because Tanya decided you wanted to get off of you didn't want to get on anything else, but you also
No.
wanted to get off the solid waste
Yeah,
board.
yeah.
And Debbie's on one, but that's about all you wanted, I believe, correct?
Mhm.
Yep, okay.
I
And,
will fill in, Tanya and I, just quickly. We had a conversation on email, and then after our conversation
Mhm.
and what's up there, I will fill in on the solid waste authority,
oh, good.
because the other two meet at the same time, same place, so that it's not a lot of other stuff. So
Okay.
I don't know if this was the place when we get down to that point, but just when you mentioned
Okay.
that, I'll throw that in
Yeah,
there.
and I'm sorry, I didn't close that conversation with you.
We did have two people on the marina board who termed out because they've had more than 12 years on that. One of those was Jeff and one was Greg Johnson, so that opens up a couple of more spots. And I talked with Mike Byam for quite a while on the phone. He's on 3 boards, and he's a very busy person. He has trouble to getting to the meeting sometimes, and he agreed, said that it would be okay if I took him off 1 or 2 of the boards. He really wants to stay on TIFA, which we will do. I reassigned one of his seats to somebody, and there's another potential. But anyway, we have what I've got right now, the way it stands, and I don't think it'll change much. I have 11 new people who are getting their first opportunity to work on the board or committee and then enjoy serving our local government. And later on, there are several issues. One of those was the Solid Waste Authority, and I meant to talk with Roger before I got here to make sure that he doesn't. I probably don't have you on as many committees as you might want. I don't know, but.
You don't have me on
You
any.
don't have any committees.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that
He's
was a
not.
point that we made in our
No,
process.
no, he's not. And that was one of the points of
Oh.
contention I was gonna bring up, is you've got a certain individual that's now on 3 committees, pretty powerful committees, and we have a council member that's not on any of them.
Could we?
I don't have to do this out, I just did because Tanya,
Yeah.
Tanya, sorry. Jeez, I was your neighbor and I still do it wrong.
But when we talked, you had talked about a committee that you were going to put me on, and then it wasn't there. I talked to Brenda and understood why I'm not there, which is fine.
Well, and I think that was the,
Elections.
well, there was the West Michigan shoreline redevelopment. I know that either you or, my understanding there is that either you or me has to be on that.
Yeah, I thought I was going to.
Or can that be delegated to?
I really don't know.
No.
Okay. Because I've got Don on that one, Don Bond.
He's on for technical. The
Right,
other side is
he's-
policy.
Yeah.
Like most of the work's done in technical group.
Okay. Well, I certainly didn't mean to leave you out. I could have sworn I had you on at least one.
What would be your choice, Roger?
I would think LDFA, that was one
Oh,
of the things I
oh.
put on my,
You know what, that's,
and Mr. Byam is one of the people on that committee.
right, that's what it was. I've got that. I would take him off of that committee, and put you on there.
Okay.
Where's that, LDFA is what you're saying?
Right.
So we're gonna have different, so TIF and LDFA, they meet at the same time, don't they, or right after each other? So you got different people on both boards?
Some of them are bigger than others, so some people are attending the meeting and already only on a couple of them, I believe.
LTFA,
Tim-
TIFA, and Brownfield.
All
at the same time.
Same group,
Right.
essentially they go from thing to thing to thing, yep.
So-
Depends on what the agenda is or who's voting.
And typically, I think there usually runs about 4 people absent from the group, so it's normally lately been able to be held in this room, but I think with a couple more people involved, we have to meet in the other room, but anyway, I don't know the best way to go through this. If you wanted to go through it, if anybody, you wanted to point out specific questions that you had.
The layout is straightforward enough. I just think if anybody has questions, they certainly should ask.
The only, I think, this always takes a lot of work. I've been through it, I understand the process, that it takes a lot of work, so thank you all for doing that. The layout is really well done. I think it's the first time it's been like, here's what's up, here's the summary. It was really great, easy to run through. I am good with all of the appointments. There's only one that there's a conflict, and I talked to Brenda and Dan a little bit about it, and that's the ZBA and
Right.
planning. The same person should not be on
I agree.
that,
Yeah.
so,
Dan called that to my attention.
That was a question I had also.
yeah.
And-
Like Kara Smith, you're showing interest in.
That's one of the ones I would like to see on.
Kara Smith is incredibly involved in the community,
Yes.
and with Mr. Fink being on, and I don't know, I'm not saying qualifications one way or the other, but if he was on one and possibly looking at her to replace that in planning commission,
On that list, he's on 3.
yes, that's
I mean,
why.
that's.
I would support
Too
Kara
close.
as well. She's got a very successful restaurant. She's a business owner, so I think that's an
Very
important.
community oriented also.
Very community oriented, yes. So
I would check with her on respect with her time, though. I talked with her quite some time, not long after probably last nominations were made, and she indicated that she was really crazy busy. Wasn't sure if she would have time, so that would
I
be
did
it.
check with her
Oh,
prior
she's
to
good?
it, and she
Okay.
said she would
Cool.
love to be on it.
Okay, so why don't we hopefully plan on Tara getting, on which one would you, on the,
Planning.
Planning is what I think her application was for planning. I
Yeah.
don't think it wasn't
I
for
think
zoning
Andy
board of
was
appeals.
interested in both, but I
Yes.
think Kara's was planning,
Yes.
not CBA.
okay.
I would support that.
I also, I know Chris, I know she's interested as well, so if another spot should come open, I would certainly support her as well, so.
There's a lot of variables in trying to
No, for sure.
sort through this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Anything else that needs to be discussed?
Now, Scott, are you on 3?
By this,
Yeah.
I would end up,
I'm wondering if you could give one to Roger, then it will at least be even.
by this, I'm already on 1. So this would put me on 4.
No, I'll put you on 3, I think. Is it?
I'm
I didn't mean
he's
to put
on-
you on 4.
He's on 3 here.
These are these are ones that have renewals right now. I'm on the zoning board of appeals right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think with Roger having 1 and indicating interest in 3, I'd like to see us be a little fairer in allocating that.
Based on the previous
Yeah.
logic, should the same person also be on the zoning and the planning?
No,
Oh, no.
Like if that was one you're already there,
so Scott shouldn't be on planning if you're on ZBA, or vice versa. You need.
But you didn't say you wanted planning, did you, Roger?
I wouldn't. I just picked 3 preferences. I
Okay.
didn't, I'm not fussy.
Oh, okay, so you would.
Roger got in on it kind of late, so I kind of
Yeah,
goofed me up a little bit, but,
So
that's all right.
if it's a conflict for me to be already on the zoning board of appeals
Mhm.
and to be appointed to planning, then I should probably not be appointed to planning.
Okay.
All right. Even
Well,
though I
then
would prefer that, but
Okay, well,
it's
if
one of the
Roger,
major committees there is. But,
was there,
if Roger wants to do it, great, but otherwise that would enable us to put both Kara and Chris on planning. But, up to you.
if you have citizens at large that are interested, I would rather see you do that for planning.
Does that work?
Anyway, I'm gonna put Kara on planning in place of Scott.
Well, she was actually in place of,
Andy,
And
Oh, yeah, in
Andy.
place of Andy, okay.
either way.
well, yeah,
Right.
potato, potato.
Um,
Okay.
um,
Talking Chris for,
well, Chris has already, I've already got her on one.
so is there anybody that did apply that she don't know?
Or Tamara.
Tamara's on
Right,
planning.
Tamara's still
Tamara's on
planning.
planning, right?
It looks like almost everybody, if I'm mistaken, everybody that indicated interest in planning
On
is,
it.
or now be on
Not
it.
interested.
Wait, was she appointed to planning?
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, but you don't, it's not a recommendation, so we're missing.
Because
She's not in the recommendation.
Who?
Who? Tamara, are you in the recommendation?
Oh, she's in the recommendation, yes.
Yeah, she's in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Oh, right, the first name, okay.
all right, so
Second.
we just, somebody that's in that list, it's not Scott Brown.
So this council council recommendations, or the mayor council recommendations, instead of in that list, we have Scott and Andy. We would put Kara and Chris, and that would, everybody that had a form received would be then on planning except for Andy, who will be on ZBA.
Yeah. yes.
now, it,
Plan says membership requirement includes the mayor, so the mayor has to be on it, the chief administrative official, which,
It's Dawn.
okay, and a member of the governing body.
So that's council. No, that's,
On planning?
we put,
Could be Roger in that case as well.
which one are we planning?
Right here, planning.
Yeah.
we put,
I-
Essentially, we need two council members on that, one of them being the mayor,
County mayor.
Yeah.
county mayor.
That, I was on planning for 10 years and I was always on with the mayor. The mayor was a member and I was a member as well. But it was required, so I believe it.
I'm just trying to get straight. Who we're replacing for me and who we're replacing for Finn.
Kara and Chris would take Fink and you based on the people that had the interest forms that were put in.
But Chris,
But Chris is not on
Chris couldn't because she's not on,
Yeah, we gotta find one more council member.
one more
So
council
it
member.
would
You
have
have
to, it would be you then, because it's a conflict for me to be on it, so.
Gotcha.
Well, or would, I mean, I just kind of jumped in with the solid waste. Well, I kind
Would be
of
a go.
mildly environmental. I was waiting for that. Just because of my background in environmental stuff, but if that's something that's interest, I don't care, I'm fine with anything.
And so same with me.
Okay.
I'm
We
good
can
with
say the
planning.
point, that's cool. That's moving.
When we get out a deck of cards and you can cut forward or what?
Yeah.
We already worked it out.
Yeah,
See, we're-
that took less than
By the way,
4 seconds, I think. It was like, okay. Okay.
I'm, I've gotten a little confused here too. I've got Kara taking Scott's place on planning.
actually, it'd be
Yeah.
Roger, if you're thinking of
Roger's
the
taking-
Or,
council seat.
Roger's taking.
Roger's taking-
okay,
Scott.
Roger's taking your spot.
And Kara is taking Fink's spot.
On,
The
Like,
planning.
why not,
because Fink,
take the,
because Fink can't be on planning and ZBA.
Correct, yeah.
It'd be one or the
right,
other.
why don't take her off the, hang on.
And Roger also going on LDFA.
I really would like Andy, Fink to be on planning.
I think
If we
you'd be-
took him off the zoning, we could put,
I think
Somebody on
Andy
that.
would be better on ZBA. I think you've got a good list of planning commissioners. Andy submitted for ZBA and planning, but
Fire authority, you meant for about
Kara,
everything.
Kara submitted for planning,
Just
so
planning.
if you take him, you don't have any other people to fill a ZBA spot if you take Andy off. Because I don't think anybody else put in a, you're wrong, got Billy's reassigned. So Andy's the only other additional person that put in a ZBA interest.
well, if they haven't put it down on the interest form, we could check and see if it's okay, right? If they would be interested in switching.
I would just not
I would-
really support that change.
No,
I
I mean,
think,
we put out a rule, you guys wanted the rules changed, we changed the rules to meet what you guys wanted. One of the rules was is you put an application in for the boards that you want to be on. And that's that document that was just in front of us, so I'm sticking to that. That's what we voted on, that's what we hashed over for months and months and
and
months.
it's not a conflict for Andy to be on ZBA,
Nope.
just somebody else would need to be on planning, so that would be and I
I
think
concur.
Kara's a good fit for that.
So I think having an attorney, a retired attorney on there would be good too.
I agree with Deb. I think just leave it as we decided.
All right. So. Okay, so let me write this. It's Roger in place of
Scott
Scott. Planning.
and Kara Smith in the same planning commission in lieu of Andy Fink.
Kara. In place of which one?
Andy
Andy.
Fink on
Okay.
planning commission.
Okay.
And LDFA, you're taking Bynum off and you're putting Roger on, correct?
Right.
And then Brian is doing solid waste. So that's the only things that have changed
Okay.
other than what's current, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
That's what my
apologize
scribble-
for
that's what
making
my
it
scribbles
hard.
say, but there's a lot of scribbles.
I normally like being on a lot of committees, and I
Okay.
can't remember how many committees I've been on for the city of Whitehall. So I think it's okay to back away this year.
All right. Anything else? I guess that's about it then with planning. Or with, boards. And any informational items?
Well, I do have one more. Christy from the senior center has asked us to set a date for our second senior dinner. So Dan, I don't know, maybe Brenda can circulate, and I'll get some, she likes having it on a Monday.
and I get some dates, and then it would be really good if we could all be there, if at all possible. I enjoyed it, and the room was full, and it is that, it's connecting seniors, and then Christy's really a good cook.
What's a good month for it?
I think she had said March. Let me check back with her, and keeping in mind, this is her last amount of money. That some folks are still using that allocation we gave. They probably didn't get it until April. So, do you have a preference?
Oh, I don't remember what day of the week it was.
She likes
I
Mondays.
don't know what day of the week it is.
Oh. No comment there.
Being retired, yeah.
No, she has said Mondays work for her, and it's usually like 6 o'clock, and it was an amazing spread. It was really good. So, and I want Dan to come too.
There are 5 Mondays in March, senior.
Even though you're not, you might have to pay, I'm sorry. No. Although I think
Okay.
Christy said you could come for free.
I got $1,000 from senior.
16 or 23rd would be
16 or 23rd.
toward the end of the month.
To
Before
be
the
honest, I'll
blank,
let her-
the snow as much as
23
possible.
23 is better for me.
23 is
I
better?
work 16 and 30.
23rd's better for me.
23rd. What about the 30th?
I work.
You work? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm able to get over there
And
with
then, like
my,
I said, if
when
it's-
I
Now,
need.
the other thing is the later in the March or spring that we get, the more people you might have show up because you're not
Yeah,
going
we
to
can
be dealing
do-
with weather.
We could, and plus, yeah, that's right. And we could do a little better job of publicizing too.
Yep.
So, okay, so you're thinking March 23rd. Okay, I will check with her and let Brenda know. Is that good with you, Dan?
Yeah.
Sorry to pester you. You will be a senior, so you'll know what it's like then when you go.
Someday.
About 20 years from now.
Long,
Check out waiting for it.
I always tell people, it's a privilege not afforded to many, and I hope you get old one day.
One other thing I'd like to throw out as a possible discussion item for a future work session. There's been some social media talk back and forth about ambulance service that we used to have in our city and we don't anymore. Not that we don't have service, we don't have service that we pay for. And people complain about response times coming from Muskegon and what have you. I just wonder if it was anything anybody on the board thought it was worth looking into, or, maybe getting a proposal from the fire department again and getting a proposal from White Lake Ambulance Authority and comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges and, I don't know, just something that if anybody wants to discuss it. I would support it if it was supported by the village. If it's on
I was gonna,
possible.
Well, if we joined the authority, we would either have to have our own millage to cover the amount
Yeah.
that they want,
Or
or
repay it,
we would
yeah.
have to get in on their millage, and they just renewed, if I remember right, last fall.
Yep.
I think it was a 3-year or 5-year, so.
Jeff and I can provide some background if you have that discussion, because there were reasons that we backed out at the time.
Oh, I understand that.
Yeah.
I think things are a lot different
Yeah,
now
it's a
than they
different
were.
animal now, I agree with you, and there's.
Okay, that's good to
And
know.
I know a couple, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the fire chief, sent his
We looked at it.
proposal.
We looked at it, I don't know if it's still on, the plate now,
Hmm.
or 5 years from now, I mean, there's options.
Yeah.
There's
I
options.
mean, from the figures we got from him, I would guess you're looking at somewhere between probably $250,000 and $300,000 a year. So it would have to be supported by the village of its own, for the city to get into it. But I didn't know if it was something that anybody else on the board thought was needed, or,
We could always have Jonathan come in.
I think I was gonna bring that up at some point too, because I've heard a number of complaints about response time here. I don't know the whole story. behind the arrangement now, but I
It's a long
would like to
story.
hear it.
Right now, there is no arrangement, we're covered by ProMed.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'm sorry, it's Trinity EMS now.
They do park on Whitehall Road, don't they?
Sometimes.
And we
They
asked,
have a staffing issue, just like the
Yeah.
majority of EMS
Oh.
agencies in the nation right now. You can't find paramedics, you can't find, EMTs are, sure, the ProMed is down to running 2 EMTs in a car with a chase car with a paramedic in it. They're transporting BLS.
and updates, we
It's-
asked quite a few times, I think. in the
Yeah,
past
Tom's no
for
longer
some
there,
updates.
he's retired.
Well, I'm just
I don't know
saying
if the
that
new
an
guy- yeah.
update,
Oh, absolutely.
a regular update
Yep.
on how we are doing, because we hear
Yeah.
I hear all of those things too, and having been in a situation where I needed medical attention and it was maybe 4 or 5 minutes, felt like an hour,
Always does.
so.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that the fire
And
chief,
it's, to have that actual data would be good if we're going to consider
Oh, yeah, he's asked
anything.
Pete, he's got the data.
Yeah.
I think,
Chief McCarthy has it.
I think one of the things Pete threw out was everybody that worked for the fire department now is an EMT.
Yes, I think.
I
So-
will,
Sure.
I will write up my memory and send it to Jeff, because it was a very lengthy discussion and issue. And then also, I will send you the article I wrote, the column I wrote about the history of the White Lake Ambulance Authority, because it's kind of cool. I mean, it goes back quite a ways.
68.
I mean, I'm not, promoting either one of them or anything else, I just, it's something that's come up as a community discussion, on social media, and I didn't know if it's something that we wanted to look at and address, or just leave it alone.
And it's not just this committee, or this community, the Trinity also took over North Ottawa Ambulance, and that is essentially the townships are gonna go with what? That's something that's coming down the pipe with that, because they're not happy with Trinity either, so. Their service area, and it's the same reasons, identical reasons, response times, what you're getting on the car, are they ALS, are they BLS? I mean, it's just, essentially paramedic or no paramedics is what that means, so.
I do want to comment, though, that I did have Trinity the only time I've ever used it in my life, and they were on time and they were excellent, so but I have heard from folks that that's not the case for,
Well, the thing being is paramedics are a certain, I don't wanna say you're in it, it's in your blood, it's kinda like police work, it's in your blood, you just do it. So you'll have paramedics that work for Rockford, they work for Life, they work for White Lake. I mean, it's the same faces. I mean, they'll work 24 here and then go pick up something somewhere else, so. You might see same faces, you might have got White Lake people in a white uniform versus the other ones, so.
I don't remember faces. It was traumatic.
I don't know half of them anymore, so.
Is that it for today? Public comment. Anybody want to speak tonight? If not, meeting adjourned, and we'll be back in about Meeting starts. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome everybody to the first meeting of 2026, the year of our country's 250th anniversary. I want everybody in the council to try and speak up. I don't know. I guess they're still not able to hear us half the time. So, first thing is an approval of the agenda. I need a motion.
Go ahead.
I will move to approve the agenda for January 13, 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, hearing none.
Did we, yeah, you have, did we want to add sports and shorts to this one, or we want to wait?
The next meeting, we
Is the
said.
next one?
All right, all in favor of approving the agenda as it's written?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? All right, the agenda is good. Next up is the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
Discussion for that? Going once?
I'm actually good.
Okay. All right. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say yes.
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 Opposed, say no. And then we go on to boards and, messages from the mayor, council, and city manager. Dan, you want to go first again?
Can I hold off until new business? Most of mine just have to do with the new business.
Sure, okay. Jeff?
Nothing tonight, sir.
Scott?
I'd just like to say thank you to the DPW group again for fixing my road anyhow, or partially fixing it as much as you can in the wintertime. They probably used a whole truckload of cold patch on all the holes in my block. They're trying, so I'd like to give them kudos. That's all I have.
How about you, sir?
I have two things. I was gonna thank the DPW for dealing with the crazy snow over the holidays, which can't be fun. We're trying to deal with holidays. The second is shameless promotion, but it's not really. One of the groups that I play with, we're doing a very large fundraiser for the local food pantries. And the board, we've talked about people that are struggling with food. It's up at Double J. If you're in the mood to listen to some music and donate to the local food pantries, it's Saturday night. So,
Okay, Debbie?
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. It's great to see that it's still not dark at 5 o'clock. So I'm happy that we're on the upswing, getting back into some more daylight. So that's all I have.
Roger?
Just one little fun thing. Earlier end of last week, 8 retirees from the City of Whitehall got together for breakfast down in Muskegon. We had a great time, and we're going to make it an annual thing. It was well attended and very enjoyable.
Thanks. That's a lot.
You didn't go to something to Whitehall?
No,
You had to go out of town,
it's Brian's fault.
Okay. Well, I also want to say Happy New Year, and I'm really hopeful for a year of us working together as a team and working together to, I love where I live. I've lived here my entire life, and I'm looking forward to a year of just making that better. There's, there's people I know that say how lucky I am to live here in this little bitty city. And I sure agree. And so I'm just kind of excited about the possibilities of some things that we can put in place that make our city even better.
And I would just, I'm looking forward to getting some road work done this year, and hopefully that all comes through and making a number of improvements in the city. I think we're gonna have a good year. We have, there's a spot on the agenda here for boards and commissions, but I don't think we need to discuss that now, do we, or?
No, at this point, you could vote on them. That's where typically we have boards and commissions, it's under messages, but you will act on them at this point, as far as approving them.
Oh, pardon?
You need to approve them.
Okay, I thought we were gonna do that next week. You do it now?
Oh,
You do it.
now is better.
Yep.
So because starting next month, we'll need to, people need to get their materials and start being ready to meet in February, so. Probably better if we do it now since it's all kind of hashed out, if you can.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to vote on approving the boards and commissions as we discussed at the work session
I'll second
and
that.
amended.
I'll second that.
all right.
Do we need to run through and clarify anything? Just to make sure you know what you're voting on?
I could read each one and just say who's being appointed if you'd like. Or not.
Sure.
Okay. So Board of Review will be John Van Loon. Brownfield will be Chris Billy and Brian Mahan. Election Commission will be Tom Zemer and Ashley Twist. Fire Authority, Brian Armstrong. LDFA, Roger Squires, Brian Mahan, Scott Brown, and Andy Fink. Marina, Debbie Hilbrand, Ron Russell, Craig Conley, Mark Nienhaus, Scott Erdman, and Don Bond. Planning Commission, Jim Schmidt, Tamara Horn, Don Bond, Roger Squires, Kara Smith. Solid Waste Authority, Brian Mahan. TIFA, Mike Byam, Scott Brown, Tom Zemer. West Michigan Shoreline Regional Development Commission, Don Bond for Tech, Dan Tavernier for Policy. Zoning Board of Appeals, Billy Mann, Dale Craner, Ellie Dennis, and Andy Fink.
Sound right to everybody? Okay. Needs a roll call, I'm sure.
Yes, let's do that, shall we?
Okay.
Scott Brown,
Yes.
Brian Mahan,
Yes.
okay. Jeff,
Yes.
Tanya,
Yes.
Roger,
Yes.
Debbie,
Yes?
and Tom.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we got time for folks, so that that slate of electors is their boards and commission members is approved. Next is public comment.
Kim Sear, Muskegon County Commissioner for District 1. Just have something brief today. This is just it was actually a press release from January 5th, and I'm just going to read a little bit of it here. Consumers Energy starts operating Michigan Solar, helping meet Michigan's energy needs. This was on January 5th, it was released. Consumers Energy today announced the start of operations for Muskegon Solar. It's the largest solar project to help power Michigan. Muskegon Solar site sits on 1,900 acres at the Muskegon Resource Recovery Center, generating 250 megawatts of electricity, enough to power about 40,000 homes and businesses. Construction of the solar array created over 200 construction jobs. So that's just a little ditty from that. So they're rocking and rolling, sending out electricity.
Anyone else? Okay. Old business. Dan, is it old business you want to talk or new business?
I got one thing for old business, just to give you an update. The TIFA and LDFA boards approved the obligation for the general obligation bond, so we'll be using the local community stabilization act funds to repay the bond. So again, we're getting that bond Planning already approved the change in the capital improvement plan, so all the projects that I previously presented, planning was good with, and TIF and LDFA are committed to it as well. So everyone's on board with the plan for infrastructure improvements for this coming year. Now ready to spike the football until I see some roads down there. But my point is, everyone's on board, every committee, every commission, everyone's on board with the plan. Everything else is new business.
So have you got the bond secured yet?
It'll go out, I think later this month.
Okay.
And everything's on track, anticipate the funds getting to us April 1st.
Great. Okay.
And bids are going out, they're being published this week for some of the projects. Some of them have to be designed, the other ones are just construction companies.
I have a question on the Lake Street. When we're doing that next year, and that's gonna be late in the year, correct?
This year.
But this year, that's right. Can we extend the walking path from where it ends now up to Mill Pond? Or do we have property issues with that?
I don't know.
Uh,
I'll have to look into it, I just don't know.
If you could, that'd be great, because it should go to that park, I would think, if we can.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it, I just don't know.
There's no room going over the bridge, so
Yeah,
we're gonna have to
no
come back to
bridge
the
issues.
bridge.
Yeah, it wouldn't, you get it that far.
Yeah, if you go to the bridge, yeah, because otherwise we're gonna have to construct a bridge.
No, I don't want to do that.
Bridge.
I think the reason it probably stopped where it stopped at was because that's where that walkway from Country Club Drive
Right.
neighborhood up there goes down to the lake. I think
Right.
that's why it stopped where it did.
The walkway kind of turns out to the street, but there's no entrance on the other side either. It's kind of strange.
Well,
Well, it goes up,
It's-
it goes up and
it's even with the, there used to be a road there.
Still big.
Yeah, it's still paved, but it's not a road anymore.
Yeah, it's just a walking path.
Yeah, it's just a walking path now, but, I think that's why it ended where it did was, I don't know why they figured that the people that lived the rest of the way down Lake Street didn't need
Right.
a sidewalk to walk on or not. I guess they can walk on their own property, but.
We got all that shoreline, we should make the most of it for, especially for, well, the people who live there, but also the visitors that want to walk the shoreline without being in the road. Okay. New business then. First item on there is we have two requests from the Chamber of Commerce. One is for feet on the street.
Want both at the same time?
Yeah, I think
Can
so.
they be combined?
Do we,
I'll make a motion to approve the Chamber of Commerce request for feet on the street on Sunday, June 7th from 3 to 7, and for the Reconstituted Maritime Festival, August 6th through the 8th.
Second,
any discussion on that?
I love the Maritime Festival.
Mhm.
Boy, I miss that.
They're having a meeting, I talked with Chamber this afternoon, they're having a meeting on Thursday at 10 o'clock to organize. And I guess just about anybody's invited to go to that,
I'm already
if you
in
got
a
ideas
meeting.
for it.
Already in a meeting.
Is the
But thank
Maritime
you.
Festival gonna be down at the park again, or is it gonna be,
Yes.
it's not gonna be in the parking lot?
I don't think anything's changed.
I'm on that committee, so yeah, it's gonna be down there, all kinds of new fun stuff and bringing back the fun old stuff.
I mean, we used to have a big tent in the parking lot. Well, that was what, Labor Day weekend? Or somewhere around?
No, we had
there?
one for Maritime, we had one for Oktoberfest up
That's what it
here.
was,
And we had
Oktoberfest.
another
Okay.
one, Montague had one for a year out down Lumberjack Days or something down there. I mean, we had, but that's the heyday of beer time, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Every weekend there was one somewhere.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Can we approve those with the voice vote, Brenda?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor of approving those two requests from the Chamber of Commerce, say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? All right, that is approved. Next up is Resolution 2601, the street administration designation. Basically, I guess we are approving Dan to be the head contact for the Michigan Department of Transportation related to streets.
Yeah, it's a procedural item. It just so we can continue to receive state transportation funds.
I'll move resolution 2601, street administrator designation.
Second.
Any discussion?
Does it say 2501?
Oh, sure does.
Mine doesn't.
Mine does.
It does on the resolution. It
Yeah.
does, it says 2601.
Did I say 26 or did I say 25?
And
Lord. All right, that's
does
it.
that need to be a roll call?
Yes. Holmstrom,
Yes.
Hillebrand,
Yes.
Squires,
Yes.
Kabala,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Mahan,
Yes.
Zemer.
Yes. That resolution 2601 is passed. Next on 2602, application for commercial rehab exemption certificate.
Okay, so, I'm sorry, okay. This is scheduled public hearing. This is the first one, at least since I've been here. The commercial rehab district is basically all of Colby, and it provides the same thing that like TIF or LEFA can do, where you freeze the taxes and this is for Lake Linden specifically. He bought it for $495. It's going to freeze the taxes at that level, and any money he puts in, and let's say it's worth $1 million in the next 2 years, it'll still be taxed at that lower amount. So it costs us nothing, and we're encouraging business and fighting blight. So this is just a scheduled hearing, but I do recommend this all like through and through. It's a small business owner. It's not some big corporation. I think we should help out where we can.
This is that thing that we push through.
Extend it out.
Extended, yeah, that we, yeah, everybody on council was pro, so this is our first one in that, so that's good. See it.
I will move resolution 2602 to schedule the public hearing for the application of commercial rehab exemption certificate.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Looks like a cool project.
They've got a pretty good portfolio of rentals. Dream Stay Vacations, I think it is.
Yeah, it would be good if it works out good. Okay, it's gotta be a voice,
Roll call.
roll call.
Yeah. Hillebrand,
Yes.
Mahan,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holmstrom,
Yes.
Kabala,
Yes.
Squires,
Yes.
Zemer.
Yes.
Should I,
Rest of-
sorry,
oh,
excuse
go ahead.
me, should I clarify that that is the date for that? Because we didn't talk about that at all. Do I need to say that as part of the resolution?
We can now, it's January 27th,
Yeah, January
which will be the
27th.
next council meeting.
Right, but yeah, right at the next council meeting.
Next up, resolution 2603, residents' right to protest. Any discussion?
I'll move resolution 2603, the annual residents' right to protest.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
Pretty much the same thing we have to vote on every year.
Every,
This one and the next one.
all right, Brenda?
Holmstrom,
Yes.
Hillebrand,
Yes.
Squires,
Yes.
Kabala,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Mahan,
Yes.
Zemer.
Yes. And next up is resolution 2604, which is another annual resolution, poverty exemption.
I'll move resolution 2604, poverty exemption.
Support.
Could we have someone give a little explanation? I'm not sure everybody in the audience always knows some of these kind of bureaucratic things.
Yep, poverty exemption, income limits change, so you exempt from certain taxes if you meet a income threshold for your annual income. They're updated to match the federal poverty guidelines as required annually. This council decides who gets approved, the council does not decide who gets approved, but the board of review does, and they apply the policy consistently and fairly. So it's one of the board of review's many functions.
Okay. Roll call, Brenda?
Kabala,
Yes.
Squires,
Yes.
Hillebrand,
Yes,
Mahan,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Holmstrom,
Yes.
Zemer.
Yes. And the last resolution today is number 2605, the Board of Review.
I will move resolution 2605, which is the board of review setting the dates for when those reviews would happen.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Hillebrand,
Yes,
Brown,
Yes.
Holmstrom,
Yes.
Kabala,
Yes.
Squires,
Yes.
Mahan,
Yes.
Zemer.
Yes. The last item then is public comment. Anybody have anything to say at this time in the meeting? Nope. All right. In view of that, I think we're done.